The Dunu Mirai. Let's talk about it. It's a fantastic IEM. It has a lot of great things going on. I wanted to talk about its build quality and its overall presentation. Now, I did do an unboxing video, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I want to say that the cable, the case, the little IDM booties that kind of remind me of baby socks are fantastic. I love them. I think the build quality of this IEM is exceptional. Not at any price. It's probably the second best unboxing experience that I've had next to the Kinnear Loki, which, I mean, that's a $3,000 IEM, has its own case, all kinds of stuff. That's just fantastic. This is a great unboxing experience for the price, and its cable is wonderful and fantastic. Having said that, I think this IEM isn't for everybody, and I would highly encourage anyone to demo it first, try it from a friend, or try it at an audio show. I was able to try this at an audio show first, so I kind of got a general idea of its tone and tonality, and I did think it was pretty good there, and I was excited about it and excited to try it. And I'm happy to say that I'm a fan of this IEM, but I don't think it's perfect, and I don't think it's the best IEM that I have. When I originally was thinking about doing a review for this, I thought I would take a lot of time and do this really long video review. I'm going to have a slightly shorter video review, but I'm also going to include a written review, which I will post to Reddit, Hi-Fi Guides, and HeadFi, so people who want to check it out can. And I'm going to try to include some interesting tidbits that I'm not going to include in this video review. Let's talk about music. The higher voices, soprano and tenor voices, sound really good overall, but bass voices and deep, rich voices, like alto voices, sound a little bit off to my ears on this IEM. The vocals on the Marriage of Figaro comes across as lush, and the space and air is there, but it doesn't come across great for me. Oh Mi Bambino Caro is one of my favorite songs. My wife will sometimes sing it to my children. It's kind of funny, and she's a fantastic singer. And this song just comes across just undertoned. The space and air is there, but the vocals do not come across as natural as I want them to be. They come across very thin, very weak, and very poor overall. Like, the vocals sound good, but the string section at the beginning comes across very sharp, very plasticky, very unnatural, like it's very fake. Drums come across strong. Guitars are great on this IEM, very natural. Most male vocals sound really good. But again, your bass vocals, your really low vocals come across a little weird. It's like it really exposes the lack of sub bass, but drum hits and a lot of things come across really well on this. Metal, electronic music is all fantastic on this. R&B is absolutely terrible. If that's what you want to listen to, is really well recorded R&B music, I think you'd be better off with some other things. If you're really looking for space and air and kind of like a holographic image that you're actually there in the concert hall with the musicians, I think the Mirai sings at these kind of songs. But when you're talking about someone who has deep, rich bass notes, something that really slams and really hits, this does have a good sub-bass presence, but it doesn't have that good mid-bass presence to really match it all, and it kind of comes across just thin and light, and I feel like it really could have pushed that. Now let's talk a little bit of EQ. I did 2 EQ profiles on this IEM. One, I tuned this to Precog's target curve, and it came across really well, and I really liked it. It fixed the mid-bass problem. I tuned this to my own target, and it felt the same. And so if you're really looking for something that fine-tunes to what Precog's target curve is, I don't know if this really hits it. Or maybe it's just my IEM does not hit it, but it did not come across well for me in the music until I put on that EQ. And the problem is that as expensive as this is, I don't want to have to EQ an IEM that's over, say, I don't know, 100, maybe even 200. It should just be nice and resonating and perfect out of the gate, because I feel like that's what you're paying for. You're not paying for the driver tech, you're paying for really good tuning. Okay, let's look at the Supernova. You'll notice the Supernova is a lot more flat in the treble range. There's a lot less energy at certain places. Like I feel like there's a lot more energy at the 8K region. It just sounds a little bit different. The Mirai has a lot more sub bass, and the mid bass actually on the Supernova sounds better. So I think the mids on the Supernova are a little bit better, a little bit more rich and full. The Dunu Mirai does come across a little bit thin in the mids. It does have a problem of brightness. I want to say that's around 8K, and I'm not sure why that's the case, but it does feel really sharp on certain songs and certain tracks. All right, now let's look at the MK3. And you notice that these have similar graphs in a lot of ways. Again, the treble is a little bit more flat. It's a little bit more peaky in the Mirai. Sub bass is a little bit higher in the Mirai, and the mid bass is a little bit better off in the Monarch. I think the Monarch has better dynamics. I think it has a little bit of a better, richer tone and tune. I think the Monarch Mark III is probably the safer bet. All right, let's look at the Chopin. And I know the Chopin seems like an unfair comparison, but I mean, I think you have to remember, this is an important IM. And so with the Chopin, eventually, sometimes you do get that slight bass tilt. You know, it does have a lot more fun mid bass, and it's just, you know, it's rumbly, it's more engaging. Has a little bit sharper treble through here. And so the binary Chopin is a little bit more tactfully V-shaped, and I don't have any sibilance. I don't have any tracks that just sound poor. I'm not trying to say that the Dunu Mirai is a worse IEM than Chopin, but they're very, very comparable. And what I'm trying to say that is that usually the Dunu Mirai has some songs that don't work for me, but the Chopin never really does. The Chopin always, if it doesn't knock it out of the park, it's like a 9 out of 10 or maybe 8 out of a 10. There are some songs that the Mirai just does not sound good with. Okay, let's talk who this is for. This is an interesting IEM, as it is a very expensive IEM. I've done this on my ranking list. On my ranking list, I've divided all my IEMs up into 5 different categories of where I think a buyer can be. And I think for some people this might be a little bit silly, but I think it's relevant. I want to talk about it for a moment. First of all, this is expensive IEM, so it doesn't work for the $50 range. It doesn't work for the $200 to $400. In that mid collector range, it could work. But do I really think this is the best bang for a buck mid collector style IEM you're gonna get? I don't really think so. I think it's okay. I think it's a good IEM, but I don't think it's great. So I'm gonna have to say for mid collectors, I'm gonna put a maybe on. I can see how some people would like it, but for me and my library and what I want as an all-arounder, I think there's a lot more stronger choices out there. Is this an IEM for one of the super fans of, say, Precog or say headphones.com? I mean, this is their first IEM, and I have to be really honest that I do think this is a good IEM, but I don't think it was tuned very well, and I think they really should have dialed it in exactly to Precog's target curve. So is this for the super fans of either Precog or headphones.com? I'm going to give a maybe to that, but I don't want to give a strong recommendation, as I think this is kind of just an okay IEM. Is this an IEM for the people with a ton of money that will buy, you know, maybe $3,000 to $4,000 of audio per month? Is this a really good IEM that could work for a lot of people? I think this is really for our big money boys, our big spenders, the people that really want a luxury item. I think the build quality of this IEM is exceptional. I think its packaging is exceptional, but I think its sound quality, especially at a value on price, there's a lot to be wanting, and it's just a little bit middling. Again, not bad, but not exactly what I'd want. As far as rating goes, I'm going to keep things really simple. I'm going to give this a 4-star rating. I think this is a really good IEM, and price does come into factor with this. I am going to give this IEM a pure audio score of an 8.9, which is the 3rd highest that I've given. I do think the Supernova and the Monarch Mark III, which I daily drive, are a little bit better and more enjoyable for music. And that's what this is all about. Thanks for watching. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Go watch another IEM video. It's done. That's the entire video. What more do you want?